See you later.
Next morning, we were hiking to the top of Upper Yosemite Falls for a different purpose, and I heard these guys on the trail talking in German, and so I said good morning to them in German. I don't know much other German than that, and it turns out
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen, and it turns out that the dad used to work here in Hoover, Alabama, where I live. Small world. Our objective was to climb one of the 50 classic climbs in North America, otherwise known as Lost Aerospire Tip. And it didn't work out that day, but it was quite the experience. I'll get to that in a minute. You can see the tip there just to the left. It's going out of the frame. Looking down on the valley from this perspective was absolutely amazing. Right after we arrived to the top above Lost Aerospire, the wind kicked up something fierce with gusts from 60 to 80 miles an hour. It got to be pretty sketchy pretty fast. And then the gusts would kind of come, and then they would just leave as quickly as they came. It was I'd never seen anything like that before. But here we are at the top looking down, and someone had abandoned a rope, a Turellian traversed horizontal rope. They had abandoned this line going from Lost Aerospire Tip there on the far right, or on the right, and you can see that Willie has actually rappelled down to that horizontal line and was just kind of playing around. I think at this point we've given up, any hopes of completing this climb today.
This isn't sketchy.
Willie did go out there on that horizontal line just a little bit.
I mean, I came here, and this is a cool thing. So Willie has changed over from the standing line that runs from the side of the cliff face, Lost Aerospire. Now he's coming back up. He failed for some reason. I suspect
when you go to climb Lost Aerospire Tip, you rappel from about where we are to a notch or a crotch, if you will, in between the base of Lost Aerospire Tip vertically in the wall. And you actually take that rappel line with you down, obviously, to that crotch. You start climbing up, and then you take it back up with you. And then you set it up as a Tyrolean traverse. You rig to that tip, okay? And then you actually use it to exit horizontally. It's something we didn't get to do. And just for fun, since I was up there, I did want to go and rappel down at least a little bit, and this is what it looked like from that perspective. It's as close as I'm going to get.
Sigh. Just a little bit much today, I think. So we're getting 60 to 80 mile per hour gusts. It's not so bad at the moment. We gotta get out of here. Oh, getting Sketchville. Rope's blowing in the wind. And this is what it's like when things go to crap. Woohoo! Beautiful day out here.
Next morning, we went to the Awani Hotel there in the valley, and it's like walking into The Shining. The goal was to go there to have the famous breakfast buffet for $42. And, I can say it was pretty much worth it. I got my fill. But this is a world-famous place. Obviously, if you've seen the movie The Shining, you'll recognize the lobby or not. The movie was not shot here. They just came and took measurements and took a lot of detail, took a lot of photographs of the detail of the hotel. This movie was based on several out west hotels and several parks or national parks hotels, but it was filmed on a soundstage actually in England. That's a Stanley Kubrick movie, of course. And if you recognize this from the movie, this is where Jack was riding on the typewriter.
makes Jack.
And if you've seen The Shining and
Adult
accordingly the documentary Room 237, you'll know there's something to the Room 237 in the movie. It's very interesting. But when we went there, it's very mysterious. There is no Room 237, but there is a mechanical room door, a very heavy door. That just sets things off, so to speak. And this is the famous dining hall where we had the breakfast buffet. It's about a 3-mile hike from Upper Pines to Vernal Falls. Vernal Falls is where the Merced River takes a 317-foot drop. It's just really something to see. On the last night there, we hiked over to the base of El Capitan. I wanted to go over there and kind of climb around a little bit and at least get my fingers on the rock, if you will. If you've seen the documentary Free Solo, Free Solo just starts a few hundred feet over here to the left where we're standing.
We're playing. We're pretending.
And it gets 2,400 feet free before it bumps into the slab
Yeah.
of the bottom. So
Isn't that something?
We did an easy, 30-foot vertical climb or so, maybe 50 feet vertical climb up to the true beginning of El Capitan. And Willie climbed El Capitan about 30 years ago. It took him 4 continuous days. Of course, you do take everything with you. You camp on the wall in a portaledge. You take all your food, everything. It's a big ordeal. In this area, there are bears. I don't have any video of it, but I did take some photos of some bear poop.
even this part looks like it's overhanging a lot up there too. Oh, there's another rope. It's coming down. Oh yeah, there's another fixed line coming there.
It was raining the next morning, so unfortunately, if you were a climber like these young fellows from Quebec, they didn't get to climb. They came all the way to climb El Cap, but Willie got to give them pointers and discuss how to do the climb.
And then you lower way down, like from the top of this thing, you lower down to here, and then you run across the face, but you have to jump out because there's like a corner like this, and you jump out and then you run back and forth, usually like 3 or 4 times until you can get your hands into this crack. Okay.
I think the very thing he's talking about has to be one of the most famous things in all of North American rock climbing. Look it up, like El Capitan, lateral run where you're running while on rope along the wall. It's just so ridiculous.
Yosemite Tunnel.
We had quite a bit of time before I had to be at the airport. I believe my flight left at 2:30. And on the way back to Fresno, we were going through the Yosemite Tunnel. It's the longest tunnel in California, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed that there were these side tunnels for air that went to like the side of the mountain. And so I said, hey, let's park and, run down there and check that out. And we did, and it was kind of neat. It was just one of those things that was worth stopping and seeing. And by the way, the engineer in Willie just never turns off. It just keeps going. And for fun, I'm just sticking the camera up in his face just to be me.
A lot of carbon monoxide, but it's just going to be like one car. The next day or something was out there.
The drive south from the Yosemite Tunnel goes through quite a bit of burned area, and this is what it looks like. It's pretty barren in a lot of these places.
Ripped his ear like off today.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
This was a snow cat? What was it?
No, it's just like an African lion. I don't know where they got the cat.
This was in your childhood? Your neighbors?
And their neighbor, well, no.
You are the most interesting man in the world.
So in case you missed that, Willie's neighbors, when he was a kid, they had an African lion. Like, what is that?
Leaning, growling at the dogs and just facing them, even though they've been trained to kind of attack. They would just, they'd stand their ground and they'd look at you and they'd snarl and growl a little bit, but they wouldn't attack you. If you acted really mean toward them, then they overbid it. And
the cool thing with Willie is, among many other things, he's got lots of stories, and they're all true.
Like, no.
They were so afraid of that cat.
So, folks, that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions about traveling to Yosemite, camping in Yosemite, hiking, and whatever, hey, give me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions or make suggestions. Happy trails!